This is a quick demonstration on the lab pertaining to precipitation reactions. Each group is going to get one of the labs and a little chart to help you keep track of what reactions go where. Notice that it says the X means we're not going to do the reaction with that column and that row. You can use test tubes like I'll demonstrate to do, or you can use a well plate, which you can line up with the rows there. Trouble is, if you use the well plate, these will only hold about 2 or 3 drops of each substance. So you have to really be careful with your number of drops. If you use a test tube, it doesn't matter if you have 3 drops or 4 drops, it won't overload, but you're still only going to use 3 to 4 drops of each substance. So we are now at the station for silver nitrate, stage 1. So with silver nitrate, you can see we're going to mix silver nitrate with this row with potassium chromate, lead acetate, barium chloride, sodium chloride, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, sodium sulfate, not copper 2 sulfate, and sodium carbonate. Now, the directions on the lab are very clear of what to do. So procedure, you're going to make sure you have clean test tubes. And we're going to add, in this first one, 5 drops, approximately 5 drops of each of these following reagents. I would suggest doing them in this order with your test tubes. It says that I need 8 test tubes, or you can use 1 well plate. Test tubes would be easier. For the second station, you only need 3 test tubes, and then 7 for stage 3. 4 test tubes for stage 4 and 3 test tubes for stage 5. So 8 test tubes would be the most that we would do. So I need potassium chromate, when you take the cap off, put the cap back on. Lead acetate. Sometimes I don't have enough lead acetate, so we may have lead nitrate. 2, 3, 4, 5. Next is barium chloride. Be especially careful with barium chloride. It's very toxic. If you get any on you, make sure you wash your hands. Definitely wash your hands after this lab anyway. And I'm going to stop right there because it's the same all the way the rest of the way across, but with sodium chloride, hydrochloric acid, and so on. And then I'm going to add, once I add stuff to every test tube, then I'm going to add my silver nitrate. And this is the stuff, it'll stain your hands. Don't get it on your hands. And use the dropper that goes with this. So I'm going to try not to touch the test tube because I don't want to contaminate the test tube. And I'm going to add just a few drops to each of these. Now you can see some reactions took place right away, but I can give it a nice little swirl, and definitely if it changes color or precipitate forms or doesn't look like anything happened there, it's hard to tell. It did get cloudy, I guess, but that could be, I'll make a note of that. And then this one, we have, looks like something cloudy there formed, but we can double check it. Alrighty, so that's pretty much what you're going to do, and you're going to put an R. So we have on here what to do. enter NR for no reaction or P for precipitate. Record the appearance of the precipitate on your lab report. So that would be here. We can check whether there was a reaction or no reaction. If there is a reaction, make a note of the color of the substance. And we're going to go through and check whether we have a reaction or non-reaction based on there. What you're gonna turn each group's gonna turn in a whole lab thing. So then after you go through and do your checks and you see where there's a reaction or no reaction, you're going to go to here in stage 1, you're gonna write the molecular and net ionic equations for each observed reaction. So if you do not observe a reaction, you don't write anything here. So you'd write the balanced molecular equation, and then the balanced net ionic equation for each reaction that you observe, both at stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 4, and 5. And then at the end, here's a few extra equations. Use scrap paper first, balance them, and then get your solubility rules to predict the precipitate or what's going to be the solid and balance them out. I know if you have to put any coefficients over here, it's awkward, but try to neatly write it in there somehow and then do it neatly over here. And that is it. That's all you got to do for the lab. Pay attention, neatness, attention to detail. If you take the cap off, put the cap back on, pay attention to what you're doing. That's it.